Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and back to Fernbus. So going on another little trip today, and I keep trying to chase the trophy list down and at the same time find some interesting places that we've got in Fernbus Coach Simulator. And today is one of those, and this one is for the trophy that is called Inntal. And the requirement for that trophy is to drive the Inntal. So I'm going to show you where that is. Bit of a spoiler, but it's a really nice run, as I'm sure you will agree. So it's quite easy. I want to run this in the little BB minibus. So to do that, I need to create the route in shuttle mode because the little minibus isn't available in the regular FlixBus section. This section here. So I've created one already. What you need to do, it's quite simple. You need to create a route between Salzburg and Innsbruck. Now when you do that, there's a little bit of a problem. The route it gives you is this orange line going along, but actually the Inntal is this bit. You need to come down this side. You can see there's quite a zigzaggy bit, similar to the Serpentine that we drove in an earlier video. So set the route up, but as you're coming out of Salzburg, you need to come this way. That's the only thing to remember. So I can't force it. I looked in the planning, I can't force it to come this way. There are no other bus stops, you see, on this side. You can't seem to force it to come to a service area either in the route. Tried that. So it'll give you this, but as you're coming out, come this way, and what it'll do is it'll readjust the route and it will then give you the orange line coming down this way. So that's what we're going to do. It's a wonderful place down here. It really is quite nice. Let's come out of that. We'll get going, and as I say, I want to go in the BB. It's just a custom colour that I gave it. The control mode is realistic, date, time, weather, all okay. Perfect. Let's jump in. Quite an easy trophy to get. All you need to do is drive there and it pops. Similar to the last one where we were going to the castle, the trophy just pops. You don't have to do anything special apart from drive along the route. Only 1% of players have got this on PlayStation 5, I noticed this morning. Let's get into the bus and we can be underway. Close the doors. Let's get started first. Okay, it's been a while since I've driven this. Actually, I think that Serpentine video that we did, I think that was the last time I drove this one. That's on, don't need that. Okay, cool, all ready to go. Let's take the handbrake off, that might help. Got it in drive. There's the handbrake. I don't think we've got aircon on this one, have we? No, it's too small. Let's have the gates open. Let's get the indicator on in case any of the AI want to play silly with us. Alright, cool, let's go. Oh, look at that, straight up the pavement. That's what happens when you're switching between the views, isn't it? Not to worry. It's quite a noisy bus, isn't it, compared to the others as well. Now let me just check the map, because already we've got to sort out where we are going. We are there. It's going to ask us to turn right first of all to go to the first bus stop, so we'll follow the first part. I have already driven this, as you might have gathered, and strangely enough, I was in the skyline and I didn't know about the zigzaggy bit for the mountain pass. That was interesting. Here's the bus stop. Let's get that open. Do the usual. Right, let's get everybody checked in.
Guten Tag. Ich hoffe, ich bin hier richtig.
So the only place we're going to, of course, is Innsbruck. So
Auf geht's.
hopefully
Hallo.
these are all
Fahren Sie in
Innsbruck.
meine Richtung. Sehr freundlich.
Yes, yeah.
Und
Is his
das
twin
Ticket.
brother.
Bitte schön. Auf geht's.
This bus could be full, you know.
Ich bin hier. Auf geht's.
Hallo? Bin ich. Dankeschön.
Everyone going to Innsbruck.
Cool.
Ciao. Sie wollen bestimmt. Ciao.
Hallo. Ich hoffe, ich bin hier richtig.
That traffic is really noisy. Is that just me or is it really noisy this time?
Ciao.
I turned my headphones down a little bit in case it's
Hello?
just my end. This woman's drunk, look at her.
Danke sehr.
It's a bit early for that, love.
Grüezi. Danke.
Moin.
Oh, this ticket is invalid.
Moment
Oh,
mal.
where is she going?
Das ist ja gar nicht meine Richtung. Sehr freundlich.
Oh, I
aber
can't check it
nein.
now. I missed that one. I could have sworn she was Innsbruck. Maybe I was getting a bit trigger happy with that one.
Dankeschön.
Right, she's definitely Innsbruck.
Mahlzeit. Danke sehr.
She's Innsbruck. Is there anybody I've missed? Oh, I think that's everybody on. I think we should be fairly busy, you know. There's plenty. There's plenty on. Look how the twins sit together. There's one set, there's another set. These two have fallen out with each other. And we got Anne Widdicombe as usual, sat there at the back. Okay, let's shut those. Oh, I didn't notice her there. She's riding up front, look. Right, let's get it into drive and get this show on the road. So this now is where I need to be careful and go the correct way. So we need to come around this loop, then we need to kind of head to our left. That's where we're going. Off we go. So we've got 235 kilometres. So it's a decent run. But this area of the map provides some really stunning scenery, as you'll see. Really, really nice. If you've not been down this end yet, set this one up and give it a try. Still that mismatch between the sat nav that's on the dashboard, which is telling me 30 is the limit, and at the bottom there in the hood, which is telling me 50 is the limit. Anyway, right, we're going opposite way to the orange line, and as you can see, it's done a readjustment. Let me just check that that is correct. It still wants to take us. To the right, but once we get into this motorway junction, we need to come under the motorway and then back out again. So that's what we're going to do. So unless you're driving in free play, you might not drive through here naturally. It doesn't seem to be part of any route. If you include Innsbruck, Salzburg, it doesn't take you this way, so you may not drive down here unless you do this manually. So that may explain why the percentage for the trophy is quite low at the moment. Right, so we can keep following it the right way around this roundabout. Just pop outside for a minute. Got another castle there up on the hill. And we can follow this all the way around as well. Mounting the curb. So you can see it's quite a mountainous region. You can see there just coming up. But once we get onto the Inntal itself, I think you'll be pretty impressed. It's quiet in this view, isn't it? You can't hear the engine in this view, which is strange. So let's pop back in. So this is where it wants us to go to the right. We're actually going to carry straight ahead now to the end of this road where we have to turn left onto the motorway. That should readjust us to go the way we want to go. I just realised as well, something I always forget. Let me just check. Did I need to start ride in this? It's probably too late now. I always forget that. Once I've done the tickets, I always forget. Right, so the motorway is underneath us. So you can see what the orange line is doing. It's going to take us where we want to go, but then it's going to tell us to turn around and come back. We're going to ignore that. We're just going to carry straight on until it readjusts itself. You start to see the mountains coming into view now. So we're going to be thrashing the engine out. It says 322 kilometres to the destination, but like I said, you can see what it's doing. It's bringing us back. That'll adjust itself. It's not 300 kilometres. Get the indicators on. Is he going to let me out? Yeah. There we go. You see that sat nav on the dashboard again. Once again, it's still stuck to 30. So that's not right, is it? Oh, we seem to have a pile up here. Let's get out of the way of this. I don't know what was going on. Right, so we are on our way. We just get in the right lane. And just looking on Wikipedia as I try and handle my phone at the same time. So what is the Inntal? It says the Inntal is the valley containing the Inn River in Switzerland, Austria and Germany. So that could be the river there, couldn't it? That could be the Inntal River, just there on the right hand side. The valley has a total length of 517 kilometres. And the biggest city located in Inntal is Innsbruck, and that's where we're going. So look at this now, and look at the waterfall there. That's pretty neat, isn't it? That. So you can kind of see where there's a trophy for coming down this side. And like I said, if you're creating routes, it doesn't naturally occur in the routes. So you've got to force it to come this way. So definitely come check it out. Love that waterfall. I'm not paying attention to the driving now, I'm looking at the scenery. Into the tunnel we go, under one of the mountains. Let's jump back in. Should really have the headlights on, shouldn't I? At least I've dipped. There we go. Yeah, this BB, it really strains the engine, doesn't it? You can hear it crashing. It's like it's at the top of the gear. It's almost like it needs to change gear. But I don't know what the top speed is, but we're actually doing 77 right now. So I bet 75 is the top speed normally without wrecking the engine. The route's still not adjusted itself. I don't know what point it actually does. It actually realises you're nearer to Innsbruck than you are if you go back the other way. So it will adjust itself. I'll show you the map again so you can see. So it wanted us to come around. It wanted us to come around this way. Here we are now. We're actually coming along the Inntal. This is the actual Inntal, I think. I don't think this bit is that we're on. It's obviously the start of it, but this part here There's Innsbruck, which we just heard was the biggest city in the Inntal. I'll leave these lights on dipped because I can't remember if there are any more tunnels coming up. But those mountains are looking good. There really is some quite nice scenery in this game. And by the way, I did hear on the grapevine that we are due a patch, a long-awaited patch for Fernbus. As always, not sure when that's coming out. It's always described as possibly days or the coming weeks, so we'll have to wait for it. Right, we've got to go this way. But I think the difference is now, if I just check, yeah, we need to go to the right. So it's asking us to go back now, so this is where you'll see the route adjust. We're going off to the right here. Bit squeeze through here. So 272 is how many kilometres we have left if we're going back the way the game wants to suggest. It's just readjusting itself now. 217 this way. So we've now got the correct track. And off we go through the lovely scenic Inntal region. Keep finding these little gems of places in the game. Don't forget, if you've seen any, I haven't been everywhere yet in this map. If you've seen anywhere, look at that valley there. If you've seen anywhere that is really stunning scenery, somewhere you've been impressed with, just drop it in the comments. And if I haven't been there, maybe I can have a run down and we can perhaps feature that on the channel as well. Because as well as just running routes, this is a fun way to play the game. Just go and explore somewhere. And of course you can bike up wherever you want and jump out on foot. There will be some invisible barriers, you won't be able to walk everywhere, but certainly at the parking up spots you may be able to do a bit of walking. Take a picnic. A virtual picnic. Or have one sat next to you whilst you're driving. Keep munching on a sandwich. That's what it's about. You can play this game how you want to play it. I know some of you have actually downloaded the FlixBus timetable, the genuine timetable, and I've started to set up routes according to a real timetable, which is quite interesting. There was talk at the beginning, and there is a tab in the route setup area of the game. There was talk that the genuine FlixBus timetable would be in the game. I've not seen it yet. Now, whether they've abandoned plans to do that or whether it's coming, I don't know, but there is a tab there. So we picked this one under shuttle, didn't we? But there is a FlixBus tab, and that's where the timetable's meant to be. Would be interesting to have the real timetable, because that's only like what we've got in Train Sim World, isn't it? There's always a timetable in there based on the real thing. So, because I don't know if you guys are like me, but I've got some quite long routes in the list that I've created, but I've also got some very short ones, and I sometimes think to myself, I feel like I should delete that one now. This is clogging up, you know, the list, and there's quite a list. You end up with quite a list of routes, don't you? It would be nice to have all the real routes in there. You wouldn't need to delete them then, because you know those are the actual routes that are being run in real life. You can pretend to be a FlixBus driver. That's a tight bend, even in this bus. So we've still got 177 kilometres to go. Hope you're enjoying this one. We'll quite enjoy the windy section once we get there. Like I said at the beginning, I did do it in the Skyliner, but honestly, by the time I got to the end of the route, I know it doesn't feature damage in this game, but in real life, I'd have had no paint left. Honestly, I was clipping rocks, I was clipping vans and cars and trucks coming the other way. Crazy. Come on, what's the over here? Don't change light. Don't change. Oh, so it does. He's trolling me, isn't it? Not to worry. He's gone through the red anyway. He decided he was over the line, so he was going. We'll stay put. I mean, I do quite like going through the cities, because as we saw in the last video, there are places of interest to see. But this scenic stuff is great, and this is a lot different to on the road, for example, isn't it? On the road, the scenery repeats itself, but with this, there's a bit of variety, and it's lovely down this end. It really is. Even the ambient noise, you can hear the birds singing there. Really nice. So we've got the quietest engine ever. We go from one extreme to the next in this view. Very, very quiet. I can't hear it at all. That's obviously a bug, isn't it? Compared to when we jump in the cab. Anyway, we'll get the passengers there. 150 odd kilometres to go. This is funny, isn't it? Look at this on the left. It's obviously meant to be Tesco. It's Let's Go. Look at that. Now we're passing for a little village here, so I need to be careful with the giveaway. I actually missed what the sign said. I missed what the village was called. But it's nestled here in this valley between the mountains. We've got the village church there in the background. They've got their own Let's Go, where they can do the shopping. Right, I'm going to skip this light, it's on orange. Speeding actually, 50 through this village. I still missed what that was going too fast. I missed what that village was called. Began with a G and ended in an ing. Nice morning run for these passengers, 11:35 AM. That's when we're arriving. It's actually 10:31 right now. Now, I can do this without crashing. There are some places just there on the hill, another castle. Looks like. Now you may be able to see that there leading up there. You may be able to walk up there or drive up that slope to get to that castle. You see what I mean? You can park up and have a walk around, discover a few more places. Anyway, back to the job in hand. Innsbruck bound. Make sure we're doing a 50 on this bend. Right, so we're coming up to the interesting part. Here we go. Now, imagine me doing this in the Skyliner. Here we go. can actually see, if you look up there, you can see it winding up. You see it looks like walls. Oh dear me. My nail is chipped. Oh dear. Now that's what comes of me showing you the route. I was trying to show you those walls up there, which are actually the turds of the road. And he's going to block me again, isn't he? Unless I can get round. Come on, let's do it. Then I had a light accident, which actually was a head-on collision. That could have been a lot worse than it was. Dear me. Right, I'll stop showing you that now. You cannot take your eye off the road for an instant, honestly. Some of these are quite tight though. We're going right up the top of this mountain. See what I mean? You got these concrete blocks here to stop you going off the edge. The Skyliner was clipping these, and I did drive it all the way from the bottom to the top in the cab. I didn't use the outside view. So if you mastered the serpentine, come back and try this one. I think this is actually a longer section of windy road than the serpentine is, from memory. Doing my best to drive it from this view so you can see the run up to the top of the mountain. We're not here for the points or anything today, this is just to show you, and also you can get the achievement or trophy. Just look at the mini-map down the right hand corner. You can see there just how close these bends are to each other. This coil going all the way to the top. You see why I picked this BB now to show you? Whoops, just click the curb. I think very soon the passengers will need the oxygen masks to drop down. They probably drop down anyway when I head on into that other vehicle. The impact probably dropped the oxygen mask down, but we're quite high up. What a shame we don't have a altimeter that will show us how high up we are. See, look at that, you see, in this view, it doesn't take much. You think that is just a curb and you can run onto the curb and it'll be fine. That guy's got sense, he's waiting. But actually, you hit that curb, it does as much damage as hitting these concrete bollards. It's a really nice part of the route. End to end, once you get out of Salzburg, it's really, really nice. I bet in real life this is a really nice... If any of you guys have been in real life along this stretch, let me know down below, because I was just looking at a couple of photographs on Wikipedia, and again, it looks like this, but you know, obviously not as cartoony. I think they've copied it very, very well, you know, as well as it could be. There's a lot of detail here when you look. Once again, I'm just trying to stay out of the cab as much as possible, just so you get to have a good look at what's going on around us. 106 to go to Innsbruck. So we come all the way up that mountain, we're racing along the tops now, there's still mountains way, way above us. people racing up behind us. Looks like we're starting the drop down now into Innsbruck, so we'll take this easy. He says. Can be quite difficult at speed in this view to steer straight because the steering is a bit squidgy. I'll do my best to stay outside though. Whoops! Oh, they're all mourning in the back again, look. Slow it down a bit. At least the drop down the other side of the mountain isn't as windy as the way up. See those boulders on the left? So we've got this bridge here, which I'm assuming is to stop. We've got boulders on the right as well. So this, presumably, is to help stop rock slides. If any those big boulders start coming down that mountain, we'll hit the top of this rather than shutting the road and crushing cars and causing all sorts of mayhem. Still got 80 kilometres. I don't need to do much on the gas actually because we are all the way downhill. There are a couple of parking stops as well if you need to park up along this route. I think there's one, if you're out of fuel, there's one petrol station. I don't know what that is there stuck in the ground, look. Don't know what that is. Unless it's some underground structure somewhere. I don't exactly know what that is. Starting to flatten out now. If you guys do run this after watching the video, then just be sure and let me know as well down below. As we come to a stop for the lights. And you know, let me know if the video has been useful. That's good feedback for me. Good thing about this game, isn't it, when you've unlocked some of the bus stops, once they're unlocked, you can then just go into the map and say, oh, I think I want to go down and drive in Austria today. I just pick something out, set it up, and away you go. I've still got a lot to unlock over on the sort of right hand side of the map. I've got quite a few bus stops in Germany still to do, but I'm getting there, kind of snaking my way around. But I know, talking to some of you guys on one of the other live streams we had a couple of weeks ago, you were saying that many of you have unlocked all the stops already. So you must have had some good sessions in the game to do that. But it's one of those games, isn't it, where time does pass quite quickly. You set up a really long route. The one that we did live a month or so ago, where we went across France, from the bottom of France all the way to the north of France. I think that was nearly, was that 3.5 hours? We did that on a stream, 3.5 hours. That did not seem like 3.5 hours, the time just went. because it was quite an enjoyable run. So if anybody's thinking of bringing any more games like this to the console, go ahead. And also, can we transfer this map into on the road? I know it's not going to happen. Right, we got 50 kilometres, less than 50 kilometres now into Innsbruck. We're back onto more of a regular kind of motorway here, aren't we? But the valley's widened out. I can't see, but we've probably still got the river down there, looks like it. That's the river Inntal. So all this time we've been following the river from Salzburg to Innsbruck. Is that the river we can hear? Is that the rushing of water? That sounds like the rushing of water to me that we can hear. Now that's quite a wide river, that. So I would assume if you were stood next to it, it's pretty noisy. Could definitely hear it. We'll go past this truck if we can. Actually, I said I thought the top speed of this was about 70. We're actually doing 95 right now. So possibly we are going downhill, but we just can't tell. So we're fairly motoring there. In fact, we're already down to 26 kilometres to Innsbruck. Right, let's risk it and go past this traffic. In this view, up against these pillars. Got FlixBus in front of us there, one of our colleagues. We're coming off here now for Innsbruck, so let's do that. But I think you'll agree, the scenery down this end is something else, isn't it? Go and run this one. There's the river again, we're coming back down to the river. Let's hop back in. Wow, look at the sky. What's happened to the sky? The sky's gone very, very dark all of a sudden. Now I haven't got the dynamic weather switched on. I've got it set to sunny. So that is that's strange. I mean, it is sunny, but it looks like we're in a shadow, you see, inside the actual bus itself. But not to worry, because this is Innsbruck, which is where we were headed the whole time. The lovely city of Innsbruck. Let's just make sure we don't get taken out by a truck. What a nice city nestled between the mountains. Kind of reminds me a lot of some areas in the Lake District, although this is on a grander scale, because the Lake District, well, the most southern point of the Lake District, Windermere, is basically about half an hour away from me. So the Lake District, the English Lake District, is very easy to get to for me. So I know it quite well as a kid. I spent a lot of holidays there. Not in Windermere, but various places in the lakes. And it does, this end of the map does remind me a lot of that. Another red light, that's fine. We'll take it in. Look at this mountain here, right at the end of the street. I still wonder how high up we are though. Because we wound our way up that sort of snaky pass there, right to the top. We didn't seem to come down as much on the other side. So I wonder if we're still sort of part of the way up. There's our green light, and I think this could be our stop coming up now. This could be Innsbruck. Indeed it is. We've got another petrol station there if you were deciding to wind your way back again. You could fill up over on the left. So let us get the indicator on. We will pull in and we'll get everybody off boarded. Pull that in neutral, get the handbrake on. We'll walk over to the doors and open them, why not? Let's see. Oh, everybody just transports outside, look at that. And there they are. This is Innsbruck, ladies and gentlemen. What a lovely place and what a lovely run. It really was a nice run, that. I've enjoyed it. And there's only a couple of nights ago I ran it the first time. Just as good the second time round. So hope you've enjoyed that. Hope that's been useful. Go and run that. Get the trophy. Get the achievement along the way. And have a very nice run. And leave me a comment if you do try it. And I didn't realise we have our own registration on this one. I've forgotten about that. And that's it for this video. So yeah, leave me a thumbs up. Take care. See you on the next one. Bye for now.